Hello guys, so welcome back to Excel Island live stream. My name is Abatan Sheriffdeen, and welcome back to the channel if you're an existing subscriber, and welcome if you're a new subscriber. So on this channel, basically what I have been doing so far on this live stream is that I have been learning to upskill myself in SQL, which is the SQL query language. And I plan to do that for the next 100 days. The good news is today is day 85. So I've been so consistent that I show up every time to learn for the past 85 days, and the goal is day 100. And so far so good. I've been using the resources on the Datacamp platform to upskill myself, which is a data analyst in SQL career track on the Datacamp platform. And the good news is that I'm on the last course in this career track. So the data analyst in SQL career track on the Datacamp platform actually contain 11 courses. So each course contain four chapters, and the estimated time to complete this course is 39 hours. So far I'm 95% through the whole course materials. If I click on the data analyst in SQL career track, you'll see what it looks like. So I've completed the whole 10th course, the whole 10 courses in the career track. So I am on the 11th course, which is the last course I am now. So after the 11th course, I plan to do the course project, then go online, pick a lot of data, and try to make sense out of this database also. If I click on see all content, you can see 11 courses estimated for 39 hours. Then we have one project to make sure you implement all what I've learned. And see projects, use joins and sets theory to discover the best years for video games. So I'm currently on the last course in the whole career track. Then we have statement of accomplishment. There's also the Datacamp certification, which I'll also be taking and doing that on the live stream also. If I go back here to this data analyst in SQL career track, there's also data analyst in Power BI career track also. So I plan to also start and live stream that journey also when I finish the data analyst in SQL career track. So you definitely want to subscribe to the channel right now and put on the notification bell so you know whenever I go live. So there are a lot of career tracks in this section. Let me quickly go back to the career tracks. So why this is coming up, so a little bit about myself. I'm a top rated plus freelance data analyst on the Upwork platform. I've had major success on the platform, and that is due to the influence of a coach, someone who has actually been guiding me through the whole freelancing space, the learning journey, and how to become a successful freelancer. I won't say I am a fully successful freelancer, but I've had major success. You get it now? So his name is Benga Debi, and my coach Benga Debi currently has a course on right now called the Freelance Client Magnet course. And what this course does is that it also teaches you how to become a successful freelancer and actually run a successful freelancing business from scratch. And it comes with a lot of benefit also. Bengadebi will give you support, weekend support, and he has a team members that give you daily support. So you definitely want to check out the course using the link in the YouTube description, and I'll see you in the Freelance Client Magnet course in a minute. So as I said earlier, there's a data analyst in SQL, career track. There's also data analyst in Python, but I'll be going after the data analyst in Power BI second. Then I'll also start a data analyst in Python second. So this is definitely something I'll be doing for a pretty long time. So you definitely want to subscribe to the channel right now so you know whenever I drop new content. If I go back to the progress dashboard, I'll just take a couple of courses today for 39 minutes, 45 minutes, for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour. I'll take a couple of lessons, then we'll end the live stream. When I'm building my project also, I'll definitely be live streaming those journey also. I have a couple of hours to complete the last course in this chapter, which is the data communication concepts in SQL. If I launch that, let's see where we stop. on day 84 live stream. Okay, so I finished the chapter 1 and chapter 2 of this last course. So I'm on the chapter 3, then we have chapter 4, as I said earlier. So if I go back here, I can easily download the slides and follow the instructor along. If I click on download slides, you have it here. That is coming up. I say type of report, just 59 slides. I click on download here. It has been downloaded. Okay. Minutes. Let's continue learning.
Welcome to the third chapter. So far, we learned the importance of storytelling to impact the decision-making process, the steps on the data storytelling road, and the elements to consider when choosing a suitable format to deliver our results. In this chapter, we will learn how to structure written reports. We'll learn when to use several types of reports, how to achieve reproducibility in data science, and methods to write precise and clear reports. Imagine that at Communicate B, we need to write a report explaining our project focused on sentiment analysis of product reviews. Our report should communicate our findings regarding the negative ratings due to delayed shippings and the prediction accuracy our model displayed. We need to present our work according to the industry standards, so our results are validated and our recommendations drive the expected change. There are different types of reports. Informational reports provide factual information, are usually short, don't have a strict structure, and their purpose is to inform about facts without adding any analysis. Analytical reports provide analysis and demonstrate relationships or recommendations. They can vary in size but have a strict structure, and their purpose is to drive decisions based on data. Final reports include detailed data analysis, findings, and results as well as visuals. They are usually long because they are intended for audiences that need technical details. Summary reports include key findings and recommendations, as well as visuals. They are usually short, less than 5 pages long. Because they are a summary of a final report, they can include links to the main document. They are intended for decision makers that do not need technical details. As we mentioned, informational reports do not follow a strict structure. But there is a straightforward structure we should follow for analytical, final, and summary reports. The first section is the introduction. Here we summarize the purpose of the report. In our example, the purpose of the report is to show the analysis of the product reviews and the results of the rating predictions. After that, we need to include contextual information about why we performed the analysis shown. What motivated our example report is an increase in negative reviews. Finally, we should summarize our analysis questions. We ask which factors are driving the bad user experience. Then we create the sections for the body of the report. In a data section, we write a description of the most relevant data used. We can include tables. In a method section, we describe the methods used to gather and analyze the data and build the model. In our case, we explain we use natural language processing and a random forest model. In the analysis section, we include the selected data for the analysis and model using visuals, for example a graph, with the most common words. In the results section, we describe and explain the results of our analysis. We could also include visuals to evaluate them. For example, we state that 30% of the negative ratings were associated with the terms delayed and shipping. And finally, we create a conclusion section. Here, we restate the analysis questions as well as summarize the most important results from the analysis. This part is the appropriate location to add our recommendations for the next steps. The structure we just saw is well suited for data reports in journals. In a business context, our audience is different, so we need to adapt. An efficient method is the 1-3-25 approach. 1 page of abstract, 3 pages max of executive summary, and 25 pages max of details. The executive summary is enough for people to understand our conclusions and decide whether the report is worth reading in its entirety. Again, we should keep our audience in mind. Each stakeholder is interested in different parts of our report, so we should tailor it accordingly. For example, people with little time but interested in the topic will read the introduction and the conclusion, and then scan the body for particular points. The executive team will quickly read the introduction and conclusion to find clues related to their main interest or recommendations. Finally, a technical stakeholder is mainly interested in the body of the report. They want to understand and validate our technical methods and analysis. Okay, now it's your time to write a report.
Okay, let's write a report. It's something to report. You need to present a report regarding your findings about customer churn and the predictive model you used, which you worked on in chapter 1. Your project manager asks you to write it according to industry standards. You are aware that this requires you to follow a strict structure. Your manager also specifies that the report will be shared with technical stakeholders. First, you write the sections separately. It's easier to undo that way. Then comes the time to bring all these sections together. Can you organize the sections you wrote for the report in correct order? It says order the report sections so that the first section should be on the top and the last at the bottom. Okay, the first section. Let's see. First section should be introduction. Let's see. The data gathered from websites. This should be the last one. The data gathered from contains categorical data such as gender and internet service. It was converted to either 0 or 1 columns. Okay. Will be the second. This should be the was the last one, yeah. Okay, let's see. The purpose of this report. So this is like the introduction. This is like the introduction, the purpose. Okay. That's the introduction. This will be the second. The data gathered from the website contains categorical data such as gender. Okay. Data was split into train 70 and test 30 sets. A k nearest neighbor model. Missing this. Okay. This will be the model has an accuracy. Okay, this should be here. So as you can see in the graph, the report analyzed the importance of different features such as monthly. The model has an accuracy of 92% predicting customer churn. Internet service type and discount correlates with customer churning. That should be correct. Exactly. That's cool. Okay, let's take that as a reference. It says, in summary, well done ordering the sections in your technical stakeholder report. Your project lead asks you to write a report to send to the directory board. They are non-technical stakeholders. You will revisit your previous report and tailor it as a summary report. But first, you want to refresh how a final report and a summary report differ. Can you correctly classify the statements as characteristics of a final or a summary report? Okay, should be written thinking about an audience that require details. That is the final report. It should be written thinking about an audience that doesn't require details. That is summary. Your report is about 12 pages long. 12 pages long reports. Usually, let's see, 12 pages long. This is a summary report. This is the final report. You might include a link to the main report. This is a summary report there. The report is about 4 pages long. It's about 4 pages long. Oh, hold up. What should be summarized reports? So in the results section, you only include 3 graphs that simply explain key findings. Let's make that a summary. Oh, we got that really quick. That's cool. So reproducibility, is it reproducibility and references? Like call it what?
Good job working on those reports. Understanding how to structure a report is tremendously important. A fundamental part of communicating our findings is making sure a report is clear and reproducible. For example, say we have a friend that always cooks this amazing chocolate cake. We go at his place and we follow his exact steps using his equipment. That's reproducibility. We trust he can actually bake this delicious cake.
Oh, reproducibility. That's cool.
On a data project, if we run our Jupyter notebook again today and tomorrow, our results should be identical, provided the dataset hasn't changed. In baking, replicability would be the ability to cook that cake again ourselves, following the recipe but using our own utensils and ingredients. In a data project, it would be the ability to obtain similar results using the same general approach, but a different environment. The data is processed in the same way, but using a different language on a different OS, for example. This scientific approach is crucial because it prevents duplicated effort and allows other data scientists to build upon pre-existing work and focus on new challenges. And last but not least, it allows peer reviewing. Although we tend to focus on coding examples in this course, we should always make sure that our code is easily reproducible and replicable, whether we use Excel spreadsheets, Tableau visualizations, or Jupyter notebooks. What matters is to keep track of how the results were produced. We should document all the scripts we use to obtain our results, using, for example, comments in our code, and list all the packages used in our environment. One helpful technique is to use a version control system like Git that tracks all the changes and versions of our scripts. We should avoid doing any manual manipulation of the data. We must never change the dataset directly in an editor. If possible, we should save all versions of our dataset. Also, we should save the raw data together with a script with intermediate steps. It can help us tell the story of our data transformation and create a narrative around it. Such a clear view ensures we know at any point what is happening with the data and therefore can adapt and resolve problems. Take a data imputation example. There was a bug in the data pipeline, and we are told we can use the average values to impute missing values for a specific product. We go ahead and push the edits manually, then close our editor. And right after, our coding informs us that actually, those products weren't available for sale on those dates, so the missing values are okay, they should be 0. But the data is already overwritten, so it's going to be hard to know which values were changed in the first place. Had we versioned the changes, it would be much simpler. We usually use machine learning algorithms or pipelines to create our workflow. Some of them might involve randomness techniques. We can usually set a random seed and introduce reproducibility into our model outputs. The random seed controls confounding variables. It lets us ensure a change was due to the model and not just randomness. Interpretability is the degree to which a human can understand the cause of a decision or can consistently predict a model's results. Telling a story with a compelling narrative helps our stakeholders understand and interpret our findings. Because they are able to understand them, our conclusions can be reproduced. Lastly, we should always correctly cite other people's work used in our analysis. Citations are the basic information required to identify and locate a specific publication. There are different styles, but they all have the same underlying logic with slight variations. The most common style is APA, which uses in-text citations, putting the author name first and the date of publication next. There are a number of reference management tools that can ease the burden of tracking all the citations. They help us automatically switch styles and search online sources for references. EndNote, Mendeley, and RefWorks are some examples, but there are many more. In a business context, these edition rules are much more relaxed. Most people will simply include a hyperlink to the source. What matters in the end is that the information is easy to retrieve if the reader wants to refer to the source's material. Okay, let's see how you can make your work more reproducible.
Let's practice. Oh, we are like 50% through the course, through this chapter. So, replicates me. Your manager asks you to write a report on your customer churn project for your peers at the New York office. He mentions that the team wants to replicate your work. After wrapping up the reports, you add a link to your code repository. He looks confused and asks you why you did that. You explain, if the New York team wants to replicate my work, then they should have access to the same dash and the same dash I use. However, if they want to achieve dash, they can use their own set of code. Okay. Fill in the blank space by choosing the correct word combination for the options. So if the New York wants to replicate my work, they should have access to the same data and the same code I use. However, if they want to achieve reproducibility, this is it. Data code I use. That's correct. If they want to what? Achieve reproducibility. That's a nice word. Well done. Reproducibility refers to the ability to obtain similar results that another team, but using different data and code. Nowadays, there is a reproducibility crisis. So it's very important that as a data science, you follow best practices. That's cool. Same result. So your manager is very interested in learning more about reproducibility. He asks you to give a short presentation at the weekly meeting. We are going to introduce the best practices to create reproducible data science results. So you prepare a slide presenting bad practices and another one highlighting best practices. Which of the following statements are considered best practices in reproducibility and which should be avoided? It says correctly classify the statement as best or bad practices. So erase the immediate files created from your machine to avoid confusion. Bad, let's see. Use a Jupyter notebook so you can explain your thoughts and decisions making process at each step of the analysis. Before you start analyzing the data, open the data set in a text editor to delete unwanted columns. That's bad. Create an extra file where you write down the Python packages and version you use for your analysis. That's cool. Use a software to undo it says use a software to undo references so you can correctly cite the sources you consult during the project. That's not bad. For your machine learning model, do not set a random seed argument as it will always return the same result, eliminating randomness. For your machine learning model. Oh, yeah, that's a bad practice. Good job ensuring reproducibility make people confident with your work and use it to drive data science, to drive data decision making. The way you write a report can contribute to this process. That's interesting to write precise and clear reports. We are 50% through this chapter. I think we should stop here today. We've learned a lot. All right, so that will be the end of the live stream. So if you found value in this live stream and in this content, do support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up, and do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, do not forget to check out the freelance client magnet course by my coach Benga Debi, which teaches you how to become a successful freelancer from scratch and also run a successful freelancing business. Do not forget to check out other videos on the channel, and I'll see you in tomorrow's live stream, in the next live stream, or the next video on the channel. You have a wonderful rest of the day.